Hello my dear students, I am Ajmal Shrivastava, your social studies trainer. So in this class I am going to continue with the same chapter, that is federalism. In the previous class we have read what federalism is, the countries which are following federalism, we have read about the countries those who are following up the unitary system, what is the meaning of unitary system, what federalism is, what is the importance of federalism, and various other things. So in this class we are going to study about what makes India a federal country. This is the today's topic that we are going to continue with the same chapter. We will study what makes India a federal country. We always say that India is a federal country, but there should be something, there is something which makes India a federal country. So here that's what we are going to study. Let me tell you, Constitution has provided two tiers of government. System of government. It means that according to Constitution there will be two levels of government. Alright? Which were union. Union, don't get confused with the word union. It means central. Central government. And the next one is state government. So it is written in the Constitution that there should be two levels of government in India. But later on, the third level was also added when it was realized that there is a need of third level of government. So the third level was panchayat and municipalities. So this was the third level. Central government is work for the nation. State will work for that particular state. They will work for that particular region or area. Particular area. They will work for particular area, region. So here, we cannot say region, but area will be a better word for this. So you can see that now there is three levels of government where central government is working for the nation, state government for the state, and panchayat for the particular area. So it was realized that now it's the need or to add one more level, that was panchayat and municipalities. Basically panchayat and municipalities work for their local areas. They will look forward for the things that are required there and they usually take some step that is needed for the particular area. Next word that we will come across in this chapter is legislative power. What legislative power is? See, whenever we talk about legislative power, it is the authority given in the Constitution to change or to alter some laws that is written in the Constitution. So basically, whenever we talk about this thing, legislative power, then one needs to understand that it is the power given by the Constitution to make amendments, to make alteration, to change laws, which were written in the Constitution, and if it is not matching as per the need of the current time. So legislative power is that only, and this legislative power, the question arises, to whom this power has been given? To the common people? No, we haven't given this particular right. To any other minister or common minister? No, it's not like that. This particular authority, that legislative power, is given under three folds. Yes, it is given in the three folds to central government and state government. These are the two levels of government where we can say that which usually work as a usually have legislative power and work accordingly. So the state government and central government has been given the authority or the power to use this legislative thing. So what these three folds are? Basically, threefold means these are categorized under three heads. First one is union list, second state list, and third concurrent list. Now what is the meaning of state list, union list, and concurrent list? Union, you can understand from this particular word, that is central. State, obviously given to state government. So whenever we talk about a union list, basically what is the word list indicates? List indicates the number of subjects or the topics that are given to that are kept under this particular list. And why we are creating this list? It means that all the topics or all the things that are written under or the subject matters that are written under the head of union list, all the laws related to this particular subject matter mentioned here will be made or will be changed by central government only. In this, state government cannot interfere in this. So whenever we talk about union list, the subject matters that includes here are defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication, currency, etc. So here all the decisions that are related to defense, foreign affairs, banking, communication, currency will be taken by central government only. They are having the sole authority to take decision to make some new law or to change some old laws as well, which are not up to the mark, and as per the need or the requirement of the present time, they can change the things or the subject matter or make the laws as per the requirement. Whenever we talk about a state list, so here it is clear that central government can make or change laws of the subject matters that are given in the union list. Now, second is the state list. Local, state important matter. Suppose in this, in this particular list of state list, whenever we talk about state list, those subject matters are included which are related to the state or some local levels. So here we will talk about trade, police, commerce. So all these decisions, all the decisions related to the subject matter, all the laws related to the subject matter will be changed or made by the state government only. The state government has sole right to make or change the laws given under, of the subject matters given under the particular list. The third list is concurrent list. Concurrent list includes subjects such as education, forest, marriage, adoption, or we can include succession. So these topics, these subject matters are included under the head of concurrent list, and all the laws related to the subject matter will be made by central government and state government. So it is very important, and one needs to understand that central government, state government has sole right, authority to make the law or to change law related to the subject matter kept under concurrent list. Now the question arises, suppose in case state and central both are not able to make a particular decision, they are not able to come to a particular conclusion or take a decision. So, and disputes are there between the two related to making of a new law. So in that case, we will consider the opinion of central government only. In case of dispute, it is written that in case of disputes, the things that are mentioned by central government will be taken into consideration. Now, we have read about all the three lists that are there. Now the question arises, what about those subjects which are left? Exactly, those subjects are also very important. So usually we keep those subjects as residuary subjects. Such subjects are called residuary subjects, and the laws related, suppose for example, computer software. All the decisions related to this will call as residuary subject. So laws need to be made for that. So for that, central government is responsible. All the residuary subject, whatever subject is not mentioned under union, state or concurrent list, the laws and the decision will be taken by central government only. So I hope I have made it clear what is legislative and how this particular thing has been done. So I guess it is like you are clear about it, what makes India a federal country. By this you can understand we have three levels of government. We have like legislative powers are also given to the government. So here you can understand that these are the reason why we are saying that India is a federal country. Because union, state and panchayat municipalities all are taking decision as per the requirement. So no one is compelled that it's not like that every power is with central government. No, it's not like that. No one is working under central government. Everyone is a different entity or a separate entity having their own powers, and they can use the same. Now, power sharing cannot be changed easily. Suppose, in case if you want to change the system of power sharing, you want it to make unity. It is not very easy. Suppose a party came and it has introduced that we need to change this particular power sharing system. So they need to present the bill or this particular decision or whatever they have taken in front of in parliament, and both the houses will do the discussion, they will do the voting, and after that if that particular bill will get passed, then only it will become a law, and after that they can change the power sharing structure, and several other factors are also there. See, one more thing, dispute. Suppose there is a dispute in the country, who is going to solve? We have judiciary. Judiciary means Supreme Court, High Court, you have like district courts, local adalats and everything. You are here. So these particular all includes called judiciary. The judiciary is there to solve all the disputes of the people that are related that are there in the country. So for solving all the disputes, judiciary is there. Central government and state government, they both work for the sake of the country. Now, let me tell you, or let me make one thing very clear, that central government and state government has to generate some resources. They need to have some resources so that they can work for the sake of the country. And for the sake of the country, literally they need some money, economic thing in their hand. So for that, usually they charge taxes. Whenever they charge taxes, they usually get amount in their hand, and hence the GDP and everything will get increased. That's why government always say to pay taxes to the non-payers as well, those who are not paying. They usually say that pay tax on time, and also government charges high taxes on some goods. You have seen that during the lockdown, a news came that alcohol shops was opened again. It was said that. And literally there was a huge crowd in front of wine shops, and it said that it can increase the number of cases of corona. But then too government has opened, because government has got usually they have fixed amount of taxes which they receive on sale or purchase of alcohols. So these are some goods on which government usually charge high taxes. Whenever government charge high taxes, they usually what they do, sale or purchase of that product usually go on, and government don't usually they usually don't keep any stop on that, and the thing usually goes on. So whenever we talk about central government and state government, it is very clear that resources are literally matter. Resources matters a lot for the sake of the country, and the only thing through which central and state government can generate economic thing or money is through the taxes. And we people are the citizen, or the citizens of India, usually it's our responsibility, not usually, it's our responsibility to pay taxes so that government can have resources. So I hope I have made this clear why India is known as a federal country. Because we are living in a country, that's why we are talking about India. We have taken an example of Belgium as well, where we talked about how Belgium has given power to regional government as well. So in that case, we are very much clear about union, state, what are the three lists are there. So I hope I have made everything very